And we should have the connection by now. And the way I understand it, Asa is going to talk to Agnieszka without much interruption from us, I suppose, for a change. Hello, hello.
Yes, right. Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning. The only interruption maybe if we get some questions from the audience. So in that case, allow me please to just pop in with some question. I'm sure this topic will bring a lot of them, but we will leave the two of you having a rich conversation and we remain silent.
Okay. Okay, so Osa, can we start?
Yes,
it's all yours.
Okay. So it's so great to be in the kitchen of this great conference. And today the plan is to talk to Osa from Nordea, Sweden, about mentoring. We in Diversity Hub, we strongly believe that mentoring is absolutely great tool for knowledge transferring, for learning, for knowing about new experiences. And of course, we know that there are different types of mentoring, like traditional mentoring, reverse mentoring. But today, we would like to focus our conversation on the cross-company mentoring. So, Osa, I have a few questions to you. And the first one is simply about mentoring, because we know that it's a learning process. We know that it's a dialogue, it's growing. Yes, but what else? And what are the special benefits of cross-company mentoring programs? What it brings to organizations?
I think we have Asa unmuted. Can we recheck the audio?
Okay, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. I cannot hear Agnieszka, but maybe that's on purpose. But yes, we can surely hear Asa.
All right. I think what you said, Agnieszka, on your introduction there, that there lies the key, because there is a massive power in the mere concept of dialogue as such. And I think we need to start there, because in the understanding that the dialogue has the capacity to, in itself, make us humans better, actually. It raises awareness, it creates understanding, it builds bridges. It is the mere foundation for our democracies and peace. So with that in mind, it's easy to understand that the dialogue in itself brings benefit to any organization if we create the best soil for it, and also if we understand how to utilize it. Because often enough, we keep busy with creating PowerPoints, presenting, and talking to others instead of talking with each other. We are performing rather than listening. And within there, I think it can be a missed opportunity to growth from many perspectives. And mentoring is learning, and mentoring is leaning on the dialogue. And the dialogue is the foundation, so it really creates the opportunity for the mentee and the mentor, first of all, of course, but also to the organizations, if we are a little smart in planning and utilizing it. And to your question, specifically on cross-company mentoring, I think a dialogue with different experiences has the potential to bring new perspectives, more than if we come with similar perspectives. And in there, I think cross-company mentoring can bring the added value. That is where I think it is of more value than the traditional mentoring that we have, that we actually get even more diverse perspectives on the table.
Should we?
So, why we are talking about this? I would like to make a short announcement, and important announcement. So we in Diversity Hub plan to introduce the second edition of cross-company mentoring program already in spring 2024. And we would like to focus on D&I exchange. So the next question to you, Åsa, because you are absolutely expert in that field, how this cross-company mentoring impacts D&I, diversity inclusion in the companies, yes? When we learn from the company to other one, how it impacts this issue?
Well, the mere concept of diversity and inclusion, diversity is about all our different experiences and backgrounds and traits and all of these things that make us all unique in the different combinations, both the inherent traits that we are born with or the ones that we cannot impact so much, like gender or gender identity, ethnic or cultural background, sexual orientation, diverse abilities, age, and more, but also the acquired traits, as you know, our different talents that we might have grown, lifestyles, what life phases we are in, educational background and work-life experience, etc. So diversity is about all of this, the mix, and that is, you know, the broader the mix, the better the selection we have and the better opportunities we have to get those different perspectives that can really fuel our business and operation. And then comes inclusion. That is the tool to utilize this diversity, because without inclusion, diversity doesn't really get a chance. So we really have to have inclusion to make room, to hear all the different perspectives, to understand how we can create an environment where we all can contribute to our fullest. We need to kind of get that in there. Equity is, of course, also very important in this mix. But so it's about respecting and appreciating and valuing the diversity. It's not about tolerating it. It is understanding how we bring the diverse perspectives to use. So I think that cross-company learnings have the power to add diverse perspectives, first of all, just in itself, something that we through inclusion can make use of. But it doesn't happen by itself, we have to say that. We need to put a lot of effort into it. Inclusion is not something that we can do in a passive mode. But if we talk about the diverse inclusion area, of course, sharing experiences, challenges, and opportunities from whatever background we have, whoever I am in this, will raise awareness if I can share around this. And on an organizational level, sharing best practice and key learnings will help us develop. That's just how we do it. And we really don't have any shortcuts. When it comes to developing the diversity and inclusion area, we need to talk. And this, with the mentoring opportunities, they are leaning on it. Again, the dialogue is actually where we will grow. So I think it is a given that if we help each other across the borders of companies and also across the borders of countries and environments, that will really help us grow and move forward, just due to the different perspectives that come with it.
Mm-hmm. So cross-company mentoring brings even more to this diversity inclusion topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Åsa, and as far as I remember, you were in a role of mentor in the first edition of Diversity Hub mentoring program. So can you just share in general what it gave to you? So how is to be in a role of mentor? And maybe if you had a mentor in your life, how is to be in role of mentee? So two perspectives, mentor, mentee, what it brought to you.
Yes, through I have, and we'll come back to that. But through the years that I've lived, and I have a few lives in the luggage now, I have, of course, been able to experience many types of mentorships, both as mentee and mentor, and both what you mentioned at the beginning, the traditional mentorship, the reversed mentorship, the group mentorship. Both mentorship within an organization and across the organization, experience exchange between organization. And I have to say that all the different types of mentorships have a role to play and are highly useful. What I do think makes the big difference in whether a mentorship relationship really creates growth or not is the preparation. And the preparation is, as I see it, number one, as reflecting over the purpose, and number two is ensuring that the match between mentor and mentee is the right one. And now I'm not talking about matching people that look alike, but the other way around.
Yeah.
But let me just say something around the purpose, and that's something that a program like this could really bring to use, because we often forget to reflect over the purpose and go right into some kind of action mode. But understanding the purpose is the key, because when why is clear, how gets easy. That's actually it. And of course, the right tools and the knowledge, the structure of the process or program are important too, because they bring the sense of security and that you know how to conduct this. But they are actually secondary to the purpose. Because as a mentor, I need to reflect over why I want to give of my time to a mentee. What can I share that will bring value to this mentee from my perspective and from my experience in different ways? And what can I learn myself from my mentee? So, and how can my organization benefit from me taking time to doing this? And I think that's key. But people are so busy, have so much on their table. And to really bring in the interest, to really spend some time on the purpose, I think is important. And the same, if I am a mentee, I need to do the same reflection. What do I want to learn? And how can I bring the learnings to use in my organization? And for my own growth, of course, but both from my own perspective and for the organization. And how can I bring value to my mentor? And that this goes to the match, of course. What mentor and mentee would be of most value for myself and to my organization? That might not be the one that I would normally choose as a mentor or mentee. And to who can I bring the most value? And in here lies, of course, the great potential of diversity, of the diverse perspectives in different ways, both from a personal experiences and backgrounds, but also from different work environments and experience between the business areas within the organization, but in this case, between the different companies, industries, sectors, or between the different cultural contexts, corporate cultures, countries, and with all of that brings. So to answer your questions around what are my mentoring experiences, the answer would be one, many through the years, and two, the best ones have been the ones where the purpose have been crystal clear, and where my counterpart in this relationship have had other different experiences than my own. And here I need to come back to the dialogue, because that is what mentoring is about. Not about one person telling the other what to do and how to do it, but to share and reflect with a common understanding to bring value to each other. And here I think that announcement that you made around that a cross-company mentoring program will be an option, that is something that could really bring value to developing the area, and not least the area of diversity and inclusion.
Okay, Elsa, so the last question to you, because you said what is important, the purpose, of course, dialogue, good matching, and preparation, and reflection. Yes, but we know, as mentoring experts, we know that whenever we organize mentoring program, which is based on cross-company learning, then there is always an issue of confidentiality. Yes. So how it looks in the light of D&I, diversity inclusion?
Yeah. That is such a good question, because when it comes to the entire sustainability agenda and diversity and inclusion, then specifically, We have everything to gain from sharing. These areas are involved topics that we need each other to be able to fuel. We need to work together. Other parts of business, I totally respect that and I understand that, might involve a need to keep more to ourselves to ensure business strategic development or products or innovation or, whatever it can be. Confidentiality is, of course, necessary to some part of every business development. But that doesn't apply to the diverse inclusion area because it is best fueled by sharing. And through sharing, we are not only helping others to develop. It's not like we're giving others this is the way you should do it and they get it for free. It is actually also about helping ourselves. The more we share, the better we will grow in our own companies. So I do think this is an important aspect to remember that there are certain areas, especially within the sustainability and diversity and inclusion area, where we have everything to gain from sharing. We have nothing to gain from keeping a confidentiality around the area as such, because we actually grow ourselves by sharing.
Okay, so can we have a conclusion that cross-company mentoring programs in diversity and inclusion are exceptional and unique? Because they brings additional value, yeah?
Yeah. I absolutely think that is the case.
Okay, good. So we are very much excited to start in spring 2024 with our second edition in Diversity Hub. And we are just wondering, are there any questions from audience to Åsa?
We don't see questions from the audience. We have like 2.5 minutes left, which gives us the perfect opportunity, Basia, to justify the fact that for the past 15 minutes we've been the most silent moderators ever.
How do you feel about it?
Well, I was practicing my silent body language here.
I noticed.
So maybe if I may, since we don't have questions from the audience, if I may ask you a question myself and use an analogy from my line of work. One of the things I do is event audits along the creative, strategic storytelling side. And the reason why this is not even on the market is because when you have a large event, any type of conference, people inside this event think that all the knowledge needed to make a great event and continuously improve it is inside, because you have a production agency and you have the organizer of the event. As an analogy to what we were talking about, when I look at two companies talking to each other, I see that the risks, why they might not be so open to it, is vulnerability exposure, for instance. Whatever they see as their own weaknesses, and they are comfortable because it's been on the inside. But the moment you invite another professional organization with access and having direct conversations, so I'm sure you see it as a risk for this opportunity. And it's clearly an opportunity because any professional outside voice will only contribute good stuff, so to say. So how do you deal with this?
And I think that's so true. And I think this with feeling a little bit vulnerable and we're not perfect and we might just be at the starting point, etc. Just remembering that diversity and inclusion is not a destination. It is a journey that we're all on. And we have different starting points. But we're learning from step by step what we're doing. And we have to also allow ourselves to make mistakes, to be resilient towards that. Not everything might not be perfect from the start. If something doesn't work, let's try something else. And this with that, to be proud of the journey wherever we are on it. Might have just started with the first few steps, or we might have worked with it for years. But to be proud of the journey, to raise the flag and say, we're proud, this is what we stand up for, and this is what we want to work for, is something that we can help each other to become. Because waiting until we are perfect before we dare saying something, well, then we will never say something, because we will never be perfect. Diversity and inclusion is not a destination, it is a journey.
And also, I believe It's also about the way you see failure, I guess, because if you see failure as something that you stigmatize and avoid, you will never understand diversity and inclusion as a journey, because failure is part of this process and something you should also learn to rejoice in, perhaps, in a way, because it helps you understand better.
We wouldn't have we do not see a single Olympic gold medalist who is more afraid of failing than wanting to win. So it's absolutely so that we should see mistakes and failure as something to learn from and to grow from, and not be afraid of it. That's part of the learning journey.
Esa, Agnieszka, even if in your conversation there were no specific arguments, which is clearly not the case because it was a very interesting conversation, I would still trust you, relying on the soothing quality and relaxed atmosphere of this wonderful interaction between the two of you. Thank you for that, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Åsa. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye.